Greetings all. This is the my voice is almost gone today. I was talking for too long. So this month is the Dreamwave for April. I enjoy calling it April Fools and Fire or Fire Purifications, as I've noted. But I think on the title I'm gonna say something like, what was I thinking? House, the world, fires of the world burning, something dramatic. Um, But I have a nice positive statement to open it up. It's a new dawn, and I feel good. It's like from a song, a blues song, I think. It's a good song. I'm forgetting the name of the singer, but she's really good. So this month, I said a little yesterday with my Hades moon forecast, but I'm going to go into a little more detail today about April and the aspects we're dealing with. I'm going to start with the April 5th chart because the sun will be in gate 51 for the first week of April. And that's it's a really powerful channel that the sun creates with the Aries vanishing point. I'm going to show you guys that now. I can't share until I pull it up. So this is the April 6th chart, actually. See if I can find it here. There it is. Okay, so this is the human design transit chart for April 6th. So this is about 8 days after the eclipse, which occurred yesterday on the 29th. And this is real interesting because this is what I was talking about in the Lightning Thrice video about how April is going to start off really intensely and it's going to carry forth this kind of burning intensity for the entire month. There'll be a release mid-month with the full moon in Libra, quickly aspecting the Scorpio moon with Pluto, squaring the Pluto moon. However, the challenges begin in the beginning of the month. Not so much a challenge if you um, if you can utilize the energy, if you can employ the energy. So we have the 35, 36 very much active, and that's going to be activated by 36 by the north node, and then Jupiter is activating the south node. Saturn is actually in the 36, restricting emotions. So it's a big theme for the month to feel your emotions instead of projecting them outwards. Now, this is a very challenging thing, but with Saturn in gate 35, so sorry, Saturn in 36 and Jupiter in 35, we have a huge tension between contraction and expansion. And then you can see here on the chart, I'm talking about the 35, 36 right here. And then we have the 25, 51. So this is the channel of transitoriness real quick, the 35, 36. So when you have this energy, you feel the need to move about. Um, lots of traveling, lots of movement, and the body needs a lot of movement. And so a good time to take small trips. This will be great with Mercury going direct around the 8th, and then Venus going direct around the 12th. Now, this Aries vanishing point here in gate 25, where all the planets are landing, the outer planets, at least Neptune and Saturn. Neptune just landed there yesterday on the 29th. And then we have the sun moving into gate 51 at the beginning of the month. So this creates the channel here, the channel of the leap, the channel of mystification, the channel of shock. Now that this channel is a double Aries channel. It's very powerful. It's the channel of the priest or the priestess. It has the power to initiate into new experiences. And it can be a very volatile channel as well. However, access to this means access to willpower. So if there's something you need to will into being this month, you can utilize and ride on that energy. And as long as it connects you to your throat, then you can have manifestation. We have manifestation with the 3536, but we'll need the 40 or the 37 in order to bridge that split. This is a split chart, and this is an emotional manifestor design chart. And so the month will start off on fire with rapid intensity. However, it'll be a lot of energy that can be utilized. So definitely utilize this energy to get what you need to get done. And what you'll be getting done, of course, is things that were not resolved at some point. So the retrograde has brought it back for it to be resolved. And of course, Venus in a relationship is resolving a lot of uh, challenges. Now, don't forget, this is a time of relationships. We're in the north node of 36 and the south node of the 6, Pisces and Virgo polarity. And so until June, we're dealing with, creating harmony in relationships with others, being gentle, not being so mean or dismissive. I have to watch myself from not being too mean, but to learn to be a little more kind. So that's what it is for this first week of April. As we move into the second week, I'm going to bring up the full moon chart. We looked at this chart a little on the recent Lightning Thrice with Gary and Richard, and I mentioned it in the Hades moon chart for the month, but I wanted to go into a little more detail. So this is the second week of April. This is coming up quick. This will be in like 2 weeks. And usually the effect of the full and new moons are about 2 weeks. We just had this eclipse in Aries, 8 degrees, which is a little far from the vanishing point of the Aries vortex, which is a 0 to 2 degrees. However, the impact of that is over time. When an eclipse occurs, it hides its effects and it releases them slowly over time, especially at certain types of geometry, when there's other planetary bodies crossing the Aries vanishing point, or when planets are opposing in Libra. So we'll see this in Libra season, or squaring. We'll see this in Cancer season, or opposing. We'll see that in Capricorn season, which will be revitalizing that Aries eclipse point. And then we had the eclipse in Pisces on the 14th of March. So it's another sensitive spot that will be being triggered from time to time as well, especially in Virgo season and in Sag and Gemini, where it has squares and oppositions. Now, this chart for April 12th is a reflector chart. As you can see, there's no channels complete here. Jupiter's moved out of gate 35 into gate 45. And so, depending how it fits with your chart, it'll be activating you on various points. Intuition will be present with the 57. Leadership will be present with the 45. Um, Emotional survival and crisis and mutation will still be happening with the 36. The chart kind of low. Let me pull it up. Our fantasies will still have a strong thrall with Pluto in gate 2 of 41. However, Pluto will be subjecting our fantasies to scrutiny and limiting resources, and creating an awareness of harsh reality. And the full moon will be happening over here in that gate 32, right here. And that's about fear, the fear of failure. So with a full moon and the fear of failure, the emotions could be stifling, the fear could stifle you. So redirect and allow that energy to transform you by knowing who you are and what is it you're wanting to bring anew into this world. We all know this is a collapsing of old patterns and a powerful new beginning, which will continue forth with a lot of starts and stops and resets until next year when Saturn and Neptune finally settle into Aries and Uranus settles completely into Gemini and Pluto settles even deeper into Aquarius and Jupiter will have moved into Cancer and Neptune will also be in Aries. So huge shift and change that we're going to get a peek at the end of the spring, and then those planets will return to Pisces in the fall. So what it looks like here for this eclipse is just a very strong triggering of the need to control the life out of fear, either fear of not being supported or not being able to sustain a positive frequency in your body that reflects your true value. And so it's important to be supportive of yourself and know what you can do to support and help and gift to others, what talents you have that can be sustained for you in this world. So take action necessary to honor whatever your role is in this cosmic plan. Um, there could be some work around proficiency in self regulation and self generosity, meaning to say it's a great month to go on walks, to really exercise and get your body moving because a lot of fire is going to be flowing through the body. And to overcome any feeling of lack or any feeling of failure, it's important to protect and defend your rightful place in this world with your talents and your skills and your unique essence and what you bring. So be sure to take action to honor your own talents and skills for others. And this will be occurring around April 12th, 13th, depending where in the world you are. This is 20 degrees, 23 degrees Libra in gate 32. Oh no, is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. I don't know why I'm thinking that's not correct. So any other things to add is just know it's a full moon, so there will be a letting go of things. And so it's important to know to be aligned with the correct actions. There's no need to justify our failures, but what we can do is allow for our success, so that know that you have the power to do what is correct for you to do in this life. So to know your skills, know your talents, and allow for your own success. Because no one can really have your success, only you can. Because we're all so unique in our expression that we all support and give of ourselves in only the way that we can. So you're not letting the fear of failure push instead for what you need. We're not letting the fear of failure overcome us. And then the last chart is going to be the new moon on April 27th. I'm going to pull that chart up now. So this chart here has activations. That's one activation, the 45 to the 30 to the 21. This is like the channel of real estate, the channel of ownership. It's kind of like a capitalist channel. It's a leadership channel. It's an ego manifester, heart manifester channel, connected to the throat. So there's access to manifestation here. And this particular new moon is occurring in Taurus 7 degrees. So this is gate 27, which is about a deep, rich, sacrificial care for others. So it's a deep, deep energy. It can be aggressive and challenging, can be manipulative, but when necessary, this is an energy that anchors us in the meaning and purpose of our relationships. The lower frequency is codependence, and that ultimately weakens us and depletes us. The higher frequency would be interdependence, which strengthens growth and the accountability for responsibilities. So I wrote the more one rebuilds their relationships to be interdependent, the more sustainability and love you activate for yourself and for those that you love. So this one is about caring without over caring, allowing others to resume responsibility for their own actions, challenges, choices. Do not let guilt cause you to compromise what is good and right for you. So you're holding others accountable for their own self-love and self-empowerment. So if you see people caught up in victimhood, the big challenge here on in this realm is victimhood versus victimization. They're really just two sides of the same coin. Whether someone adapts the position of a victim or whether one accuses another of victimization, it's really kind of the same difference in the sense that you're playing roles and you're being caught up in these polaric roles. And sometimes you may displace those roles. Sometimes you'll be the victim, but sometimes you'll be the victimizer because it's a coin that flips. It's a cycle that humans get stuck in and caught in. And so with these particular challenges, it's important to overcome victimhood or victimization and to be the victor, I guess, and assert your own reality without adopting the classification or identification of either. And this new moon in Taurus in gate 27 is a great time to practice that. And this will be near the end of the month on, again, April 27th, a Sunday. All these aspects for, well, at least the full moon and the new moon will be on a Sunday. Very interesting. It'll begin your week for the 13th and the 27th. So, if I didn't mention already, as mid-month and full moon approaches mid-month, Pluto and Mars will go into opposition. Now, we've had this. This is a aspect that's been revisiting us. And I think this is the third go round. Um, with Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto being Aquarius for a long time. So last year, Mars was in Leo before it went retrograde back into Cancer. And so Mars has been going direct since I think February. And it's going to go into Leo about mid-month. And so that's when it'll oppose Pluto. Last time we saw this was in the beginning of January of 2025 for the new year. And we had airstrikes and we had a lot of war stuff that occurred. So watch out for that as well this month. There could be a lot of political maneuvering mid-month. I think I mentioned also in Lightning Thrice that Trump's chart is vulnerable to this opposition as well as the full moon, and it'll be affecting his chart. So hopefully he's able to stay protected and to not suffer any great challenges. It looks like mid-month we'll definitely see more of what we've been seeing with attacks in the Middle East and Syria and all these senseless war attacks that we're no longer going to support as a collective, as a tribe across the world. And so hopefully that was helpful to you guys. It is a very challenging, intense, but also vitalizing month. So you can utilize the energy to get things that you want to get done. Wishing you all the best this month. This is my Dreamwave April, and feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.